Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. Changes may be in the pipeline for motorists who use the elegant corridor in St. James. This follows the latest crash along the thoroughfare, which claimed the lives of 3 students of the John Rawlins Success Primary School in the parish yesterday morning. The 3rd student has been identified as 8-year-old Tiara Thompson. She died at the Cornwall Regional Hospital yesterday evening. An 8-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl remain hospitalized. Information has now surfaced that the car in which the students were traveling was neither licensed nor insured.
I must say, this car, we found out, was not licensed or insured. The children were 4 females and a male. We were also told that the male is his son. So based on the extensive nature of this crash, it is evident that the vehicle was traveling initially at a high rate of speed when, for reason unknown, it swerved from the right lane across the left lane and exited the roadway and then impacted onto an elevated concrete manhole and subsequently overturned. During that process, it ejected 2 of the children. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene.
Member of Parliament for St. James East Central and Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says he will be speaking with the Prime Minister and the Transport Minister in order to have some mechanism instituted along the corridor to limit the number of road accidents.
And for us to institute obstacles that may be useful in slowing down traffic along that corridor. But I want to appeal more to drivers one more time to please be more cautious.
And in the wake of these latest casualties on the nation's roads, the government is reiterating the importance of the strengthening of the new Road Traffic Act. At Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Information Minister Senator Ruel Reid bemoaned the deaths of the 3 children as well as the driver in Tuesday's crash. He noted that indiscipline continues to be one of the leading contributors to motor vehicle crashes, and so strong legislation is critical in stemming the carnage. The road traffic bill was again passed in the House of Representatives on Tuesday with additional amendments.
It certainly was against the background of us trying to, as a nation, bring greater discipline to how we use the roadways. So I'm using this occasion to lament the extent to which some of our taxi drivers and our public passenger operators operate, and private operators, that we had to be very responsible. We have precious lives, our own lives and the lives of children and other persons that we are carrying.
Additionally, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Naomi Francis, says new international partnerships involving the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, the National Road Council, Road Safety Council that is, among others, have also been established to address road indiscipline and road safety.
Part of that project too will be training taxi operators in terms of how they can moderate their behavior on the nation's streets. And at that juncture, the Prime Minister also appealed to all Jamaicans to ensure that, especially as it comes to what we call the silly season, the Christmas season, that we take due care on our nation's roads.
We're going to appeal to the police to be out there as they have been doing. Peace Step is out there as well to invigilate against this so that there's strong public order and compliance. And again, condolences to the families, to the student body, and all the friends and relatives of the deceased.
At least one cancer care group is expressing concerns about the capacity of Westmoreland to manage the dreadful disease of prostate cancer. Data from the Registrar General's Department in 2015 revealed that 1,200 men died from prostate cancer in Westmoreland alone. Founder and chairperson of the Misty Blue Cancer Care Foundation, Dorothy Satchwell, says the Savile Mar General Hospital does not have the requisite equipment or personnel to treat persons who may have prostate cancer.
And when we look at those 1,200 persons, those are 1,200 persons who had cancer on their death certificate. For those persons who develop complication from cancer, for example, pneumonia, those persons are not covered in that data. So in truth and in fact, we may be looking at 2 or 3 times that amount of persons suffering from, who are dying from cancer. And the very sad thing about it.
She's therefore calling for special attention to be given to Westmoreland.
Westmoreland is one of those parishes that have a large percentage of its populace living on or below the poverty line. And the World Health Organization and Globan strongly states that it is countries like Jamaica that have such low socioeconomic standing that suffers from cancer.
Meanwhile, Ms. Satchwell says men should stop being afraid to get their prostate tested.
Cultural barrier to persons having the screening, especially the digital rectal examination, which is crucial. And prostate cancer is one of the easiest cancers to be treated, but you find that most persons who are being diagnosed at end stage, which makes the treatment more challenging.
She was speaking with TVJ News following the donation of $120,000 to help the foundation in its mandate. According to research by the European Institute of Oncology, Jamaica has the highest incidence rate of prostate cancer in the world, with an age-standardized rate of 304 per 100,000 each year. Coffee farmers in St. Thomas are appealing to the authorities to contemplate giving licenses to small-scale farmers. Their suggestion follows yet another setback for farmers. The farmers say they have been left to watch their crops rot after the factories stopped taking their commodity nearly 2 weeks ago. The farmers say they want to be given the chance to market their own products as they can no longer depend on the factory owners and operators.
Give us the small farmer license and let we go and sell our coffee ourselves. We need now to come in right now. Every time they come, they only give us a price. We don't see nobody keep no meeting with us. They say, well, they're going to give it $5 or $10 for our coffee. They just come in and they make a price and then give it to us. And when we, the farmer, cry out and say, well, the price is too local for us, I don't know if there's any sabotaging why they are doing with these things.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging stakeholders to invest in training young people to fill positions in the business process outsourcing BPO sector. As you'll hear in this report, the BPO sector has been creating numerous job opportunities. However, there are not enough trained personnel to fill the positions.
Jobs are present. That announcement from Prime Minister Andrew Holness. These jobs, he noted, are in the business process outsourcing sector, which has been gaining traction in the Jamaican economy. But still, he notes that there is a challenge. This relates to the lack of quality human resources. It's why he is urging stakeholders to invest in training more young people.
The government of Jamaica has started to put in place various programs to ensure that we don't have this ironic constraint, which is we have the potential for employment, but no one to employ. That would be a real travesty. So we have started now with the HOPE program, which is the first level of government intervention to get our young people who have left school but are not in employment, who we describe as unattached, to get them into a stream of work, of engagement, of apprenticeship, so that they can be ready.
Mr. Holness says the BPO sector has been contributing significantly to the declining rate of unemployment across Jamaica. A recent report from Staten revealed that unemployment in the country fell to 8.4% at the end of July 2018.
It can create career opportunities, jobs with a long life cycle, where you can start at one level and spend your lifetime in it, ending at a significantly higher level, where a career path is established. And so we should not seek to, in any way, depreciate the value of the BPO sector.
Mr. Holness was speaking at a KPMG inauguration ceremony held in downtown Kingston on Tuesday. Shane Masters, TVJ News.
And we go now to a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
In the next edition of the Health Report, we look at diabetes.
When we say that nearly 500 million people are affected, okay, you're looking at roughly 1 in every 14 persons worldwide. But then another very tragic detail comes, because the figures from the International Diabetes Federation point out that every 6 seconds, someone somewhere in the world dies from diabetes. This is now an increase over, say, a decade ago.
That's the Health Report this evening in Primetime News. And now for today's healthy living tip. Eat less sugar, eat less red and processed meat, eat more fruits and vegetables, and exercise.
We go on to news in sports. Trainer Anthony Baba Nunes was once again the record breaker at the annual Toba yearling sale at the Caymanas Track car park on the weekend. Mr. Nunes fetched a chestnut filly for a whopping $5.1 million, eclipsing his previous record of $5 million in 2015.
When lot number 45, a chestnut filly by Blue Pepsi Lodge out of Rumble, entered the ring, it caught the eyes of most owners, and Anthony Baba Nunes placed an initial bidding price of $1 million. Leading owner Carlton Watson signaled $500,000, and that sparked a bidding war. After 2 minutes of back and forth between the two Jamaicans, Watson looked set to fetch the animal at $5 million. And when auctioneer Matthew Pryor of England was about to hit his hammer, Nunes bid $5.1 million, erasing his 2015 record for a chestnut colt by Adore the Gold out of one big giggle.
The mother of this yearling is Big Daddy Cool's sister, right, and this is the daughter of her. So she was, when we rated out our yearlings for the yearling sale, we thought there were 2 top-class yearlings that stood out from all the rest, and we didn't get the first one that we went after. So we obviously had money in our pockets still, and we decided that this was the one. We weren't going to leave her alone.
Earlier, owner and breeder Michael Bernard had to dig deep into his pockets to buy back 2 of his yearlings. Lot number 44, a chestnut filly by Nuclear Wayne out of Commander Affair, which makes her a full sister to 2016 1,000 Guineas winner Nuclear Affair for $5 million. And lot number 27, a bay colt by Casual Trick out of Sarah Barracuda, a half-brother to Sarah Lee for $4 million.
An outstanding filly, and she's almost the what Jamaicans would say the dead example, resemblance, if you will, of Nuclear Affair, full sister. And in fact, Nuclear Affair, if you remember, her dam sire, Black Tie Affair, won of the Breeders' Cup Classic. So it's a classic horse, very good horse, and as a result of that, anyone would want to keep her. Huh?
There were 4 lots which went for over $4 million. Lot number 2, a bay colt by Natural Selection out of Just a Flutter, a half-brother to Lottery Ticket, and bred by Bruce Levy, attracted an opening bid of $500,000 from well-known Trinidadian Basker and Basso. This sparked a bidding war between the breeder and the Trinidadian, who won the battle, fetching a prize of $4.4 million. The other 2 lots that were sold for over $4 million were lot number 36, a chestnut filly by Sensational Slam out of Bubbling Angeline, which was a buyback for owner and breeder Howard Hamilton, and a lot number 38 by Blue Pepsi Lodge out of the dam Her Royal Highness. There were also 4 yearlings which went for $3 million and over. 103 yearlings were sold for a total of $142.2 million, and the Toba president Howard Hamilton was full of praise for some of the breeders.
This is easily the most successful sale we have had in years, and I can't express how much gratitude we have on behalf of the association for Robert Abdul in initiating these incentives that has really sparked a lot of interest in the sale.
Meanwhile, lots 43 and 107 will go into the SVREL You're the Owner promotion, whereby one lucky individual will get a chance to win a thoroughbred valued at $1.5 million. Spencer Darlington, TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Remember to join us at 7 this evening for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the News, Sports and Production teams, good afternoon.